Hello friend, I welcome you to my channel Laser Graphics and Multimedia. My name is Rafi Yakub, and in today's video you are going to learn how to create classic Facebook cover design in Photoshop step-by-step tutorial. But before we dive into the tutorial, if you're very new to this channel, remember to click on the subscribe, turn on the notification bell so each time I post content about Photoshop tutorial you'll be notified. So with that being said, let's dive into tutorial and see how you create a very classic Facebook cover timeline in Photoshop. So let's begin. The first thing you to do is to go to the home tab right here, click on file, then at the point here, this is where you need to type in the name of your design. So classic Facebook cover. Okay, then you have to come to the width right here and make sure you type in 851 and make sure you type 315. Then make sure your resolution is 300 and then your color is RGB. Then come down below right here and make sure you click on create. So next thing you want to do right here is to go to your toolbar right here, click and hold down. So make sure you choose your pen tools. Having choose your pen tools, you have to come to the property right here. Make sure your shape is checked and then you can change the color. The next thing you need to do is to make sure you make some part with your pen tools. So this way, and this way, this way. And then you close your part right here, okay? All right, so the next thing you want to do here is to adjust this shape right here. So you can take it down a little bit. All right, so the next thing you need to do is to come down to the layer panel right here, make a new layer. Then having make a new layer, you have to go back to your tools right here, click and hold down. Make sure you choose your pen tools. Then having choose your pen tools, come to the pen tools property. At the top right here, you can change the color this time around. Then you have to come to your tools right, shape, workspace. You have to come to your workspace right here and make another part. All right, so the next thing you need to do is to come to the layer right here, right click on the layer and make sure you look for duplicate layer. So you can make this shape 3 and then you click on OK. Next thing you want to do is to double click on the shape 3 layer. Then you have to change the color and then click on OK. Then the next thing you need to do is to make sure you adjust the shape 3 layer. And the next thing you need to do is to make sure you press Ctrl key down and select the second shape. And then you have to go to the home tab right here, click on edit and then look for free transform. Then you have to press Alt key and the Shift key on your keyboard and drag to increase the shape size. Then the next thing you need to do right here is to rotate a little bit. So once you're satisfied with the adjustment, you come to the top here, click on this check mark to accept the free transform. Then the next thing we need to do is to make sure we go back to the background layer. Then we have to select our rectangle shape. Then having select our rectangle shape, you make sure that the shape is checked and make sure you can change the color right here to whatever color of your choice. And then you have to come to the workspace and draw your rectangle. So the next thing you need to do at this point here, you have to go to the home tab right here. Make sure you click on edit. Then from edit, you'll go for free transform. Then having click on free transform, you have to come to the edge right here. What you need to do right here is to make sure you press Ctrl key down. So when you press Ctrl key down, you're going to have stuff like this. Then you can bend the shape a little bit. Then you have to come to the angle right here also, press Ctrl key down and make sure you bend this shape this way. Okay, so once you're satisfied with the shape, then you have to come to the top right here, click on this check mark to approve the free transform. Then the next thing you need to do is to close this tab right here. Then you have to go back to your edit from the home tab right here and then you look for free transform again. And what you need to do right here is to just rotate a little bit. All right, so once you're satisfied with the shape, then you have to come to the top right here and click on this check mark to approve the free transform. So the next thing we need to do is to make sure we locate this yellow layer. Then having located this layer, you have to go to your toolbar again. So this time around, you have to click and hold down. Make sure you choose your pen tools. Then having choose your pen tools, you have to come back to the layer panel. Make sure you create a new layer. Then having make a new layer, then we can make another part from the top right here. And this way, then we can come to the top right here. We change the color. So the next thing we can do right here is to go to the home tab right here, and we go to edit. Then we look for free transform. Then you have to right click on it and make sure you click on skew. Then we can adjust a skew this way. So once you satisfy, you come to the top right here and click on this check mark. Then we have to adjust this shape right here, and boom, so we are good to go. Next thing we want to do right here is to make a duplicate of this shape. Then we have to come back to the layer right here. We right click on the layer. Then we make sure we look for duplicate layer. So we can make this shape 5, and we click on OK. We double click on the shape. Then we make it white, and then we hit on OK. Then what we want to do right here is to use our arrow, drop down arrow key just to tap out a little bit. Then we adjust this side also with our arrow key. Then we can press Ctrl plus to zoom out. Then one thing we want to do right here, we have to right click on the layer right here, and we make sure we choose rasterize layer. Then having rasterized the layer, we have to go to our toolbar right here. We click and hold down. We make sure we choose rectangular marquee. Having choose your rectangular marquee, then you have to drag all over this way and press the delete key on your keyboard. So you are going to have it this way. Then you have to go to your home tab right here. You go to select. Make sure you click on deselect. Next thing you want to do right here is to come down below right here and make a new layer. Then having make a new layer, you have to go to your toolbar right here, click and hold down. Make sure you choose your pen tools. Then having choose your pen tools, make sure you come to the shape property right here. Make sure your shape is checked, and you come to fill. Make sure no fill, and you have to make sure you apply stroke color, which is white. Then you can increase the width. So I'm making the width 4.6. Then the next thing you need to do is to come to the edge right here and make a stroke. Then you have to press Ctrl key down to cut. Then you have it this way. Then the next thing we want to do is to locate this layer right here, and we have to locate this layer also. Then we have to locate the shape layer. So we have everything this way. We press Shift key on our keyboard. Then we can just adjust this this shape to the top a little bit. So the next thing to do is to locate this layer right here, and once we locate the layer, we have to go to the home tab right here. We go to File, and we make sure we click on Place Embedded. Then we have to right click on the image, and we make sure we flip to horizontal. Then next thing we need to do is to come to the top right here, make sure we click on this check mark to approve the free transform. Then we have to come to the layer right here, right click on the layer. Then we make sure we click on create clipping mask. So we're going to have it this way. Then we can adjust this image right here. All right, so the next thing we need to do is to work on the shape, on the shape's color. So we have to start from this one right here, and we come to the layer panel, At this point here, we double click on the layer thumbnail. So we're going to use this particular color code right here. Then we're going to select on this particular shape here. Then we have to come to the layer thumbnail. We double click on the layer thumbnail. We change the color right here. So this is the color code. So we're using the same color for this angle, and we click on OK. Then we have to select on this particular shape right here. We double click on the layer thumbnail, and we have to change the color from this point here to this. Then we have to make sure we copy the color code, Ctrl C to make a copy. Then we have to select on this particular shape right here. We double click on the layer thumbnail. Then we paste the color code right here, and we click on OK. Then we have to locate this particular layer, and we right click on the layer. So we go to blending options. So at this point here, we have to double click on the. Then right here, you have to follow these settings and make the distance 7, make spread 7, and make the size 7, and the degree should be 90. Once you're done, then you have to make sure you choose black color and then click on OK. Then we have to fall back to this particular shape right here. We double click on the layer thumbnail again. So we have to work on the color right here. And we choose this type of color. Okay, so you can see the color code right here. So once you're satisfied, then you click on OK. So at this point here, the next thing to do is to add text to this particular banner right here. Okay.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big swings, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win at life. I never miss, that's facts, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget.